Hey guys, Boo here, and today I'm going to make a tutorial on how to make a swep using my swep creator, and this tutorial was requested by Yaya right here. So he's been asking a more or less like a more explained tutorial on how to make sweps, and I'm going to show you guys everything to do just to be sure that you don't make any mistakes when making your own sweps. Alright, so I've updated the swep creator, fixing some bugs regarding the swep base. So you should get the latest version because that's going to have the most fixes. Anyway, so first off we'll start off the swep creator, let the splash screen set in, and let me take off the sound. Alright, so to start up the swep creator, just go to Let's Go. And here we can change all the settings of the gun. For this tutorial I'm going to be making a Mac 10 using this model here that I found on CSS Game Banana. So I'm going to name this Mac 10, and except I made a spelling mistake. Who made this gun? Me, of course. Contact, I don't need to put a contact, but I might as well since it's right here. These settings will only appear when a person is selecting the gun. Usually there's a little message box saying instructions, contacts, stuff like that. So yeah, this one's perfect. I'm going to put this in tutorial. Operating instructions, yeah, left click to shoot SMG. Right click to shoot to use iron sights. I'm going to show you guys also how to make iron sights using this. Next, FOV, we'll usually just leave it at 70 since that's the default. Now, to find out the view model path, first I have to download the skin. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. Yeah, download. 1 minute. We can always go back to this, but never mind. It's just being fast. That's good. I should have downloaded this. Alright, so here's everything that we're going to need. We don't need the scripts folder. We might as well take the sound, models, and materials. So first of all, let's look at the model. The model, since this is a Counter-Strike skin, it's going to replace the Counter-Strike weapons. We don't want that. We want it to keep the Counter-Strike we want to keep the Counter-Strike weapons, but have this new swep. So to do that, I extracted the models. This is the first step. Don't close the WinRAR yet. And basically, this usually might not work very well, but it's just the easiest way for people to do this. So I'm going to name this, just rename everything, except be careful with the extension. So I'm going to rename this VSMG Mac 10 Toot, which is short for tutorial. Got to do that for all of them. Toot. And never use spaces. Always use underscores. That's very important. Because spaces usually break things, especially when it comes to coding. We want to avoid that completely. I'm just going to copy paste the word toot over and over. Do not replace the .dx80 part. That is essential to making sure that the model works. Same thing with the X90 and SW right there, and Xbox too, and the X80 again. Now this is the world model. As you can see by the name, it says WSMG. That means W stands for world model, V stands for view model. View model is the view, like on what shows on your screen. World model will be what the player would be holding in his hands. Alright, so the swep goes in models, weapons. So we're going to go to our Garry's Mod directory. You can do that by going to Steam, right-clicking Garry's Mod, Properties, Local Files, and you go to Browse Local Files. And here should be your Garry's Mod folder. This might be different. It might be either in buu342 or whatever your Steam name is. And it could be in your common folder. It depends. So Garry's Mod, and go to your models folder. If it doesn't exist, you can create it. Go to Weapons, create it if it doesn't exist, and put all of these models in there. both the world and the view model. Put those in there, and that should be good. Next, materials. We can easily just drag those into the Gary's mod folder. The good thing is that this doesn't replace the Counter-Strike textures, meaning that it won't glitch out the Counter-Strike textures, basically, which is a good thing. So we'll extract those, and might as well extract the sound for the Mac 10. I'll call it, yeah, we'll replace this one. This will be the shooting sound, and this will be, for example, I don't have any reloading sounds, but yeah, it was just an example. I can provide some. Wait. So I'll call this Mac 10 Fire Toot, because for my tutorial. Again, go to the Gary's mod folder. I have a shortcut on my desktop because it's just easier. And go to Sound folder. And I'm just going to create a new folder because it's cleany. I'm going to call this Mac 10 Toot. And put that in there. And I have these weird reload sounds from my Far Cry 3 sweps, which are basically just one sound, which is a bunch of sounds mashed together and synced perfectly. They won't sync very well with the rest, with this swep, because the timings are different. But it's just something that we can use for now as a tutorial. You guys might want to find the sound yourself. Alright, so the view model path was SMG Mac 10, and then it was toot, and you have to put .mdl at the end. The reason why it says models weapons is because that's the folder path. You don't need to put Gary's mod on it, because Gary's mod already knows it's for Gary's mod. If you're still confused, you can click these blue links here, which will take you to the tutorial page here, to the respected part of the tutorial. Continue. So do the same thing here for the Mac 10. So Mac 10 sorry, I forgot SMG. SMG, whoops, misspelled that. SMG Mac 10 toot.mdl. Alright. These settings you can all just change, so yourself. Should it when someone picks up the swep, automatically change? I don't want that. Should a weapon change to a different gun if I pick up another swep? Then yes. Might as well. Which button should I press? Well, usually SMGs are I usually put them in 3, because that's how they do it in Half-Life 2. Yeah. Does the weapon shoot when you're underwater? Sure. Can you see the crosshair when the gun is out? Since we can use the iron sights, I'm gonna disable that. Does the swep show how much ammo you have at the bottom? If you have a custom HUD, this might not really matter. It'll just appear -1. I'm gonna keep this like this. Is this weapon only spawnable for admins? No reason to. Flip the view model. Since we are using CSS swep, we might want to do this. Use player model hands. You cannot use this since this isn't properly made specifically for Gary's mod. And you know usually because the extension is not V, it's C. Just like W is for world. C is for, I'm not sure what it stands for, but basically it just means that it can be replaced by hands, depending on what player model you have. Now, the reload sound, I can go get that, was, whoops, sound. Now, I made a mistake here. You do not put the sound part of your file. That will not work at all. You just need to put Mac 10 toot, and then / Mac 10 _fire _toot, and since it's .wav, we put WAV at the end. Continue. Allow people to shoot with left click? Well, obviously. The sound will be, well, oh wait, I made a mistake here. I'm sorry. This is the reload sound. I don't know what I was thinking. This should be 1 911 read, which means reload. Continue. This should be the Mac 10 fire toot. So Mac 10 toot, and then Mac 10 fire underscore toot, and I forgot an underscore here, and .wav. Damage per bullet, well, I'll put at like 10, since it's just a Mac 10. It's not really such a strong gun. How many bullets do you lose per shot? 1. How many times can you shoot? So this is the magazine size. I'm not sure about Mac 10s. I'm not very good when it comes to guns. So 20. Since it is an automatic SMG, we leave this ticked. How much ammo do you get when you pick up the gun? I'll leave that as 300. How far does the bullet spread? Since the Mac 10 isn't that good in terms of accuracy, I'll leave it as 2. How many bullets come out when you shoot? Only 1. Yeah. How much recoil should the gun have? I'm not sure, but this should be fine. I never really fired a Mac 10, so I can't really tell you how fast it shoots. I'll leave this delay at 0.1. Again, I don't know how strong it shoots. Force basically it means that when you hit an NPC or something like that, the more force it has, the more it pushes that NPC backwards. And finally, the ammo type is SMG. When I have everything ready, I go ahead and I click this teddy bear. Your swap code has been copied. Now, what you do is you open Notepad, which you can get by searching Notepad. Notepad. Yeah, right there. In Portuguese, it's block notas, so Windows is expecting me to have that. Search for that. So once you click the teddy, you press Control V, or you just go paste, and you get all of your code right here ready. Now, imagine if you close the program now, because you won't be needing it, and you realize, wait a second, there's something I want to change. Well, you can easily go here to the code and change it. It's not really much to worry about, which is good. So you can always go back and change anything in case you made a mistake or forgot to include something or whatever. For example, if I wanted to change how much damage it does, I would go down here to where it says swep.primary.damage is equal to 10. Okay, once I am happy with the code, I will go to File, Save As, and change this to All Files, and name it shared.lua, and enter. And if you can't open this file, then that's because you have to open it with either Notepad or Notepad++ if you have that. Notepad++ is usually recommended since it's a more extensive scripting program, but I'm lazy and messy and I eat with my hands because I'm an animal, so I use Notepad usually. Anyway, once you are done with this code and you saved it as shared.lua, you want to open your Garry's Mod directory. Now, this step is important. Be sure you do not screw this up because otherwise your code will not work. Once you're in your Garry's Mod directory, Garry's Mod, if you're in this folder, it's wrong. It has to be this one. Same thing goes for models, sounds, materials. Then you go to open up the Lua, open up the weapons. Here, create a new folder, and this is going to be the name of your gun, but for like the console. It's so like if someone wants to spawn your gun, they would search give and then the gun name. In this case, I'll just call it weapon Mac 10 toot. So if I wanted to spawn this gun by the console, I'd put give weapon Mac 10 toot. Open it and paste your share.lua in here. And your swep should basically be done. I did not put the textures in, so I'm going to put the textures in the correct folder. Since I didn't extract the materials folder, and I extracted what was inside the materials folder, I will have to open the materials folder and paste this in here. They'll ask me to replace, just say yes. Yes. Oh, apparently I did. Never mind. Alzheimer's, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much all you're gonna need, and I'm just gonna open up Gary's mod and test if everything is working as it should. Alright, let's test out the swep now. So I'm gonna open the Q menu, go to weapons, and the swep should be in the tutorial section. There we go, Mac 10. Pull it out. Yeah. Well, apparently we did not have to flip the view model because it's already been flipped. That's not usual for Counter-Strike weapons, but in case that ever happens, then, well, just switch them. Let's just test out firing sounds. That works. Reload. That was the sound that I used from my 1911 reload sound. Alright, so let's just make some quick adjustments. So I'm going to flip the view model. Whoops. Give me a second. It's around here somewhere. But never mind. Weapons. Weapon. Mac 10. Tutorial. Nope. Too high up. Shared. So we'll just flip the view model and let me just find that. Flip. We just search flip. Ah, there it is. Alright, set this to false. And it's been switched. Great. Now let's just add iron sights. So to add iron sights, you'd first want to open up, you'd want to get this swep called swep construction kit. Basically what this lets you is, first you right click and it'll open up this menu. Basically this lets you modify view models. You can add models to the model, or you could just adjust iron sights more or less with this. So the first important thing to get iron sights working in the first place is to change the swep base of the gun, because most guns don't have their own there's a lot of swep bases out there on Workshop. For example, M9K or customizable weaponry, realistic mad cows. You could use my swep base. So I'm going to use my swep base for this example. So go to the code and look for the part that says swep.base is equal to, and just rename that to the swep base that of your choice. In my case, mine will be bu weapon underscore boo underscore base. So I'll save that. Now, for the swep base to change, first you have to kill yourself. So, let that happen. Respawn. Take out the gun again. And you can see some differences. For example, there's the crosshair. You can see that there's bullet penetration. Hopefully. There's near wall, which needs to be changed. So if I run, it also does like that. Anyway, so to set iron sights, take out the swep construction kit, go to weapon, and change this first path to your model's path. So mine would be Mac 10 SMG Mac 10 SMG Mac 10 toot.mdl. So here's the swep. Now, you basically, to create iron sights, all you have to do is just adjust until this is good. Now, some sweps might get problematic because the iron part, if it just doesn't work right. Sometimes you need to improvise. So, Y lets you move forward. You may don't set it too high, because otherwise, when you fire, it's going to go into your view, and you don't really want that. Since we cannot really see the iron part of it, I guess I'll just use the hole as the part that you aim at. The X moves it sideways, Y moves it forward backwards, Z goes up and down. Pitch and yaw let you move it without actually changing the position of the gun. These are kind of, basically all they do is just rotate. And roll just basically rotates it like this. So you can use that. Allow the So you want to center it as much as possible with the crosshair. This is good enough. When you think you're done, press copy iron sights to clipboard. Then go to your swep base, and I usually do this before any of the initialization code. I put this right before the swep.secondary part. I just paste the coordinates, and there you go. Save this, and if I take out the gun, I should be able to aim using the iron sights. And there we go. As you can see, we can use iron sights now. So yeah, thank you for, well, viewing this tutorial. I hope I helped you guys out a lot. Oh, and in case anyone's wondering, when you sprint the holstering thing, that you can also do with the swep construction kit. You just need to basically position it right. However, you cannot use the code that it gives you. You're going to have to change the coordinates. You're going to have to copy-paste the vectors. However, the names, it won't be iron sight that you want to call it. You're going to want to call it whatever the swep base uses. My base uses run arm angle and run arm offset. So you're going to have to look at the code of the swep bases in order to know a lot of these things. But once you do and you get used to it, then everything should be great, and you could use that for whatever reasons for your sweps. Alright, that's it, and thanks for watching, guys.